Hi guys, Nefer is finally playable in Genshin Impact, and if you want to squeeze out the most damage from her, picking the right catalyst is super important. So here's the lowdown on the best and worst catalyst for Nefer, based on how she scales and plays. Let's dive in. Nefer's all about elemental mastery, crit rate, crit damage, and a bit of attack percent. She doesn't really care much about energy recharge or HP scaling, and she definitely doesn't need defense or healing passives. So weapons with those stats? Nah, they're usually not worth it. Focus on pure offense and reaction boosting. That's what makes her pop. Okay? Starting with the 3-star catalysts. Honestly, most of them kind of suck. The only ones you can kind of work with are Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers and Magic Guide. They can help early on with reaction damage, but their base stats are low, so they're just okay. Like C tier. The others, like Emerald Orb or Twin Nephrite, yeah, better avoid those. They're D tier. Moving on to 4-star catalysts, we've got some much better options. The Widsith is amazing, giving high crit damage and rotating buffs. That's an A tier pick for Nefer. Solar Pearl also works well, giving crit rate and boosting skill and burst damage. Another solid A tier choice. Sacrificial Fragments gives elemental mastery, but its energy passive isn't too helpful for her, so it lands around B tier. Flowing Purity can be good if you're reaction focused, also B tier. If you're F2P, Dodoko Tales or Oathsworn Eye are your best early game options. Both sit around B to A tier when refined. The rest, like Wine and Song, Frostbearer, or Mappa Mare, usually fall into C/D tier because their passives don't really fit Nefer's playstyle. Alright, now for the big guns, 5-star catalysts. Here's where it gets spicy. Kagura's Verity is a great A+ tier choice, stacking skill damage and crit damage, and works beautifully with Nefer's rotations. Tulatala's Remembrance gives a ton of normal attack power, which can fit her hybrid playstyle, so that's a solid A tier. Lost Prayer to the Sacred Winds offers high crit rate and elemental damage bonus, another A+ tier weapon. And of course, Nefer's own signature weapon, the Reliquary of Truth, is S tier without question. It gives crit damage, crit rate, and massive elemental mastery boosts after using her skill or triggering Lunar Bloom reactions. It's perfectly tailored for her kit, and outperforms everything else when both buffs a choice. Other strong 5 stars like 1,000 Floating Dreams and Everlasting Moonglow can work situationally, but they're A or B tier depending on your team. On the flip side, Skyward Atlas and Memory of Dust don't really mesh well with her because they favor pure attack scaling, so they usually end up B or C tier. So, to wrap it all up, if you're F2P, go with Widsith or Oathsworn Eye until you can get better. If you've got the big guns, Kagura's Verity, Lost Prayer, or her signature Reliquary of Truth will seriously boost her damage. Some catalysts might look strong at first, but without the right synergy, they just don't shine on Nefer. Pick smart, and let Nefer bloom her way to victory.